These are the SteelSeries Arctis Nova 1, insanely popular wired gaming headsets that are relatively affordable, around $50 to $60 depending on sales. At the time of this recording, these are ranked 26 out of all of the PC gaming headsets out there, which means these are wildly favored by many. But why do I hate these so much? Well, if you're new here, my name is Arnell, the comic book gamer, and I review gaming tech and accessories. If you want to stay plugged into everything going on with gaming headsets, be sure to subscribe for more videos. Also, drop a comment down below to let me know if you have SteelSeries headsets, if you're a fan of this brand or their different headsets that are out there, because personally, this was my introduction to SteelSeries and I am really disappointed. So I'll be completely honest, I've had a very rough time with these headsets. I am not exaggerating. I'll go over what I enjoy because these aren't the worst out there, but in my opinion, they are very far from the best. Compared to the Razer Blackshark V2 we just reviewed not too long ago, these are, well, you know what, I might just do a separate video comparing these two headsets because there's actually a lot that I can say about them compared to each other. But just focusing on the things that I do enjoy about these headsets. I do really like the design. The aesthetic look of it is really nice, especially in this black color. It's very minimal and very sleek. I also really do like the functional aesthetic of these as well, being wired gaming headsets that have a detachable 3.5mm cable. That way I can plug these into all of the different consoles in my setup. This is also great if you want to upgrade the quality of the cable as well. If you want something that is thicker, gold-plated, things like that, then you really have that functionality to be able to do that. Now, I did mention that I like the black minimal design, but these do also come in a nice white color as well. As far as the quality of the audio itself, it's kind of a mixed bag, and so we'll start to kind of get into some of the negatives, but before I get into that, I will say that the audio quality is relatively good, especially at this price point, but I can say that I can hear everything very well and clearly, and this is kind of where it starts to get into the bad part because it's just really loud. The bass itself especially can really overpower a lot of the other, sounds that you can hear. So if there's an explosion or something like that, you're going to hear that deep bass really overtake some of the other things, which is honestly not good if you're into competitive gaming or you're just wanting to do well in first-person shooters. Honestly, the drowning out of noise is really not good, especially if you're into the competitive scene or if you're just somebody that really plays a lot of first-person shooters and you want to be able to hear enemies walking behind you, their different footsteps, or different equipment being used in games and things like that. That way you can kind of get the drop on other people. If you rely on sound to be able to hear these things that you can't visibly see yourself, then these are, in my opinion, not very good at that because the deep bass, let's say there's an explosion happening, it's really going to drown out some of these sounds that you really need fine-tuning to be able to hear so you can, again, get that drop on other people. The other big issue, and probably my biggest issue, is that these are just wildly uncomfortable, ranging from the ear cups to the headband size to the pressure that it applies on my head to just various different aspects. These just knock it out of the park in the worst way possible because these are just wildly uncomfortable to wear for more than 20 to 30 minutes, at least in my case. So starting with the ear cups, these are foam ear cups, and we have reviewed foam ear cup headsets on this channel before, and there's great ones that are out there, like the Razer Blackshark V2X that we just reviewed, the Logitech G435. There's different foam headsets that are out there that they do a good job, and honestly, I kind of prefer foam headsets, at least in some cases, especially for longer gaming sessions, because it's really going to help with that heat rejection. So that way you're not trapping that heat in your ears like you would be with leather padded ear cups. But the problem with these, the cloth material that they chose is just very evidently low quality, and so it's really going to leave a negative impression on you because it's just going to be very uncomfortable, especially if you're somebody that games for a while. Moving on from that, the headband strap is another big issue that I have. So the headband strap is just not a very good design in my opinion. I'm not a big fan of headband straps to sort of be your adjustable way of making sure that the headsets can fit different head sizes, because in this case the cloth headband that they're using really grabs onto my hair type, and so every time I put these on or adjust these or take them off, there's usually at least one hair that is getting pulled and caught on that cloth headband, and so that's basically either ripping out the hair or it is just pulling on it and just being extremely uncomfortable. And also that headband strap is applying a certain level of tension to be able to hold the headsets against your head, and in this case the tension is a bit too strong, and so it's applying this extra pressure on my head. So not only is putting it on uncomfortable because it pulls my hair, wearing it for any period of time is uncomfortable because of the cloth ear cups being a low quality, and the tension on the headband is just keeping it firmly planted to my head and just really not a good time. Now you can remove the cloth headband, or the head strap rather I should say, but unless you have the perfect head size to be able to hold these ear cups, the headsets themselves, it's just not going to be a good time. So you really do need that head strap to be able to actually make sure that the headsets fit your specific head size. And even though these are cloth ear cups, one last final issue that I have with them is that these are the type of cloth ear cups that actually hold in heat, and so there's not a whole lot of rejection going on there, meaning that these are just wildly uncomfortable from every single possible metric that I can personally rate them on. And so because of that, I really do not recommend you pick these up. Let me know what you think down below, but in my opinion, these are just the headsets that you want to pass on, and I have no idea why these are so popular as they are. Unless you're a person that has smaller ear sizes and maybe a larger head that doesn't need the head strap, or you just have a hair type that doesn't get caught on the head strap, that could be another plus as well. So if you're a very specific type of person, then these could be great for you, especially if you love bass and you don't really mind different sounds getting drowned out, then these might be good for you. But if you're somebody that really cares even a little bit about audio quality and making sure you can actually hear the different sounds going on in the game, then these are really not going to be the ones that I recommend you pick up. Now, I do have this playlist right over here that you can check out for yourself for other headsets that I recommend, especially around this price point. There are way better options out there. And let me know what you think down below of the SteelSeries Arctis Nova 1. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.